Hey guys, it's Aeon again, and I have some tips on space, I guess it would be. Um, so during the Christmas event, they gave us a bunch of decorations, and they're kind of all random sizes, and I'd really like to get rid of them. But the real question is how do you know when you can get rid of them, when it's more beneficial to not have them, and replace them with something else that you've gotten from a later chapter. Because I got the winter festivals, the winter stars, and I had some bigger trees 2 or 3 maybe chapters ago when the event was going on, and they were really good. They were by far better than anything I had in that chapter. But as the chapters grown on, they're not as good as they once were. Um, so now I'm at a point where I'm looking to possibly remove them and replace them with something else. So I want to show you guys what I'm looking at before I destroy these. Because so let's look at this. Let's start with this right now. The Winter Star is by far one of the best things that you could have gotten at the Christmas event. And do I have my calculator open still? Nope. I'll make it one of those. So it is a 500 culture, or 500 population, 1,000 culture item. Oh, I didn't think that was true. Oh no, yeah, there we go. 500 culture, 500 population. That's what I thought. And so the thing is I really have these for the culture, or for the population value. So I want to know how much they're providing me. So 500. Oh man, I messed up. Sorry. 500 population divided by the 9 squares means that it's giving about 55 population per square, not including the culture that it gives. And then if I go look at my resonance right here, I have one more upgrade available to me in this chapter, which will put me up to 680 population per building. And those are 5x2s, which is 10 slots. So, get my new calculator here. If I take that same math and, 680 divided by 10, 68 per square. So my residences are now giving me 13 populations more per square than those winter stars are. So assuming I don't care necessarily about that 500 culture, it would make sense for me to actually get rid of these winter stars and finish out this row that I got set aside here for my population. At the same time, we can look at some of these other buildings. Now, if we look at the culture for the winter star real quick, it is the same thing. It's a 500 for 9 stars, so it's 55 culture per square. And I'll be unlocking this new building soon. Oops. The Pond of Recreation here, which is a 5x6, so 30. And it gives 3,700 culture per square, or for the building. So take my 55 here, and then this new value which I got, which is 3,700, divided by 30 squares. So 123 culture per square. That's significantly more culture than those winter stars are providing. So to me, it seems like it would make sense to get rid of them, build a few more residences. I'll probably buy a couple of those giant snails, which give a huge amount of population culture, and then build those ponds of recreations whenever I get access to them. It will also help me have buildings that are the same size. So that's the other thing, is having the 3x3s and the 3x2s and the 4x4s and the 4x3s. Just, it makes it really hard for me to organize my area with all these different sizes of blocks. So I want to get rid of them and get back down to a single size block where I can calculate things out and figure out where they go. Let's do the same thing for these other buildings here. So this is providing 740 population, and what size is this guy? This is a 4x3. Yep. So bring up my calculators again. That was what? 740 divided by 12. So those are providing 61 population per square. I believe the other one was 68. So it's less population per square. We definitely know it's far less culture per square. Because it's almost double there. And if we do the same thing for this guy, which I believe is a 4x4, let me verify. Yes, yes. Oops, go back to your little home. And, alright, we'll do the same thing here. This is providing, come back, 1,070. 1,070 divided by 16. So 66.875. That is very close to my residences. It's still less by 2. So I will probably get rid of it just because I don't want a weird sized building. And then of course there's these guys, the Wayfarer Tavern, which offers very little populations, less populations than the Winter Star, so that's definitely going away. And this guy is the previous chapter's best culture building, so I'll be getting rid of that too. So then I can just fill this whole area down here with the ponds of recreations and a couple of those giant snails, and we'll have way more culture and way more population than I would with all these just random sized buildings probably. The only ones that I am going to be a little bit sad about getting rid of is these new Valentine's ones, because they're actually in the chapter that I'm currently in. But since they're so small of buildings, they don't provide a whole lot of value. So although the per square is really high, I'm probably going to get rid of them because they're so small and I just don't want a weird sized building just sitting around. So that's really all I had for you guys. I know a lot of people have like no space. I have all the premium expansions, so I have a lot of extra space. But for you people who are looking to get every like inch, every benefit you can out of the squares that you have, do the math. If you got some decorations from Halloween, from the Christmas event, from previous events before that, I started around November. Do the math on them and decide if they're really worth keeping. Do they have that much value to you that you don't want to replace them with something newer and better? As far as I can tell, there's going to be more events, so you can get new ones. Next Christmas there'll probably be more Winter Stars. They'll be then based on your current chapter, so if I can manage to get to the Sorcerers and Dragons chapter, they'll be like the best that they can be. And they'll probably be like 2,000, population instead of 500. So, that's just a tip from me. You guys can do what you want. I hope you guys are enjoying Elvenar and have a great weekend. If you have any questions, please comment on here and I will do what I can to answer them. So, outside of that, take care.